Hey there and welcome. Today, we're diving into a really powerful lesson from A Course in Miracles. Think of it as a practical tool for completely shifting how you see the world, your problems, and, well, even yourself.
You know that feeling, right? Where you're just stuck in a loop of worry, replaying some conversation over and over, or just feeling weighed down by your own judgments. It feels like being trapped inside your own head with all that chatter. It's something we all go through, and honestly, it's exhausting.
So, why do we get so trapped? Well, it's because none of us are actually seeing the world as it is. We're all looking through our own personal filter. You could call it our ego, that's been built up from every past experience, fear, and bias we have. That filter colors everything. But what if you could actually change the lens you're looking through? So first up, let's really dig into this default way of seeing. We're going to look at how this ego-based filter is actively shaping the reality you and I experience every single day. This is really the core problem we're trying to solve here. And that, of course, brings us to a new kind of vision. This is the solution. And it's not some abstract philosophy, it's a super practical method from A Course in Miracles for consciously choosing a completely different lens to see the world through. This right here, this is the heart of the whole practice. This simple phrase isn't just a nice thought, it's an active, conscious choice. It's you saying, okay, I'm willing to set aside my own filtered vision for a moment and allow a different kind of perception to guide me. It's basically an invitation. Now, I know the term Holy Spirit can bring up a lot of different ideas for people, but for what we're talking about here in the context of this lesson, let's just think of it simply as the voice of divine wisdom that already exists inside of you. It's that part of you that's connected to love, to clarity, and to peace, way beyond all the noise of the ego. And what's so cool about this is how clearly it lays out the choice we have in every moment. On one side, you've got ego vision. It's driven by fear, it's based on judgment, and it always creates separation. On the other side, you have Holy Spirit vision. It's guided by love, rooted in real clarity, and it fosters connection. And here's the kicker. These are two completely different ways of experiencing the exact same world. All right, so how do we actually do this? How do we make the shift? This is where we get to move from just talking about it to actually putting it into practice. Let's look at some simple, concrete actions you can take to bring this new vision into your daily life. And this part is so key. You don't have to perfectly believe in this whole concept for it to have an effect. Think of it less like a belief system and more like an active tool you can use. It's a muscle you develop. The practice itself is what creates the change and empowers you to see things differently. The source material gives us two really manageable daily practices. First, a short meditative reflection, just 5 or 10 minutes. All you do is sit quietly with that phrase, "The Holy Spirit looks through me today," and just feel what it's like to surrender your own perceptions. And second, at the end of the day, take a few minutes to journal. Just note any moments where you felt that little shift, where you let a different perspective take the lead. Okay, so that's the daily stuff. But what about when you're in the thick of it? When you're facing a really tough, real-world decision? How does this actually help you then? This is such a brilliant and powerful exercise. When you're facing a tough choice, just grab a piece of paper. In one column, write down all your fears, your worries, your judgments about it. That's the ego's take. Then, in the other column, you consciously ask, what would a voice of pure wisdom and love say about this exact same situation? Just comparing those two columns side by side, it can bring this incredible rush of clarity and peace, sometimes almost instantly. So, when you actually start using these tools, what happens? What's the result? Well, that's what we're calling the view from higher ground. Let's talk about the payoff, the real, tangible benefits you get from adopting this new way of seeing. So really, what's the big deal here? Why does any of this matter? Because while this practice might not change the events happening outside of you, it fundamentally changes the lens through which you see them. And that internal shift, well, that's what creates truly profound results on the outside. And here they are, the rewards. This practice fosters a real, deep connection to a sense of inner love and peace. It invites healing by helping you let go of all those old biases. It creates genuine clarity in your thinking and your decisions, and crucially, it helps you rise above those knee-jerk, ego-based judgments, which then allows for so much more compassion and understanding in your interactions with other people. And all of that brings us to our final section, your turn to look. This is where we bring the focus entirely back to you and how you can actually start this journey for yourself, starting right now. So we end right where we began with this incredible affirmation. I really want you to see this not just as some quote on a screen, but as a tool you can literally put in your pocket. It's a simple phrase you can repeat silently to yourself before a tough conversation, or when you first wake up, or in any time you feel trapped by your own thoughts. It's your personal invitation to a whole new way of seeing.
And to leave you with something to really sit with, here's the reflection question from the source material itself. How can I consciously invite the Holy Spirit to look through me in my daily life, and what fears do I need to release to fully embrace this guidance? This isn't a question with a quick, easy answer. It's an invitation to a much deeper conversation with yourself. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.